And we get to our next topic, the players to watch for Alabama Auburn in this 2025 edition of the Iron Bowl. For me, I know Daniels is a guy to look out for.
Mhm.
I'm looking out for him,
Mhm.
especially after the fact that he was named the starting QB going into the Iron Bowl.
Yeah,
And
you
yeah,
got
because
it,
like
Cal.
I'm just curious to see what he's gonna bring. Because it was like if they want a shot winning this, I think they should have gone with Deuce Knight. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, good for us.
Hey,
But
Jackson's agreeing with me. I mean, it really made sense. That's why I was like, Deuce Knight, man. Like, God play him. But again, Ashton Daniels can still do well. I mean, it's not to say he can't. I mean, Stanford's rough. We've seen guys transfer from Cal and Stanford that have done well. So recently, wink, wink. So it's that's definitely very well possible he could do good at Auburn. In this game. He's like Kyle said, he's done well already. But yeah, I'll agree with you, man. I would go with Deuce Knight though.
I can see why from an Auburn standpoint where Deuce Knight wasn't the starter. You got to think about it. It's Auburn. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of older players, a lot of seniors on their team, and coming into the Iron Bowl, they kind of probably want a experienced quarterback, somebody that they've been going to battle with before in the past, and the games that Ashton Daniels has started, he has shown some promise. So for me, the players to watch, like I said, Alabama going to have to prepare for all three quarterbacks. So I'll just say that quarterback room in
Yeah.
general, that's a position just to watch. You can just lock them all in the same category. And then you got to look at some of the weapons that Auburn has.
Mhm.
We talk about a Cam Coleman. I know a lot of Alabama fans are, with the Ryan Williams Cam Coleman comparison. Alabama fans tend to go with Ryan Williams just with the electric electric playmaking ability we've seen from him in the past. Of course, he's had sort of a sophomore slump, but Cam Coleman over there at Auburn, he can do those exact same things. He's kind of a bigger guy. He's kind of got more of a bigger frame, a more of a physical wide receiver, and somebody that can definitely win one on the outside. And that's who he's gonna be matched up on the outside against Alabama's corners. I mean, and Alabama's corners have done a good job holding their own on the outside, but you definitely don't want to get you definitely don't want to you don't want to you don't want to get Cam Coleman one on one. You kind of want to share the guy over. So Cam Coleman, that's definitely a dude that's a player to watch for me. Another player that I would have to watch just a receiver that's by him, Eric Singleton. That's also a dude they're gonna have to watch. So Auburn's quarterback room and the two receivers, I believe if they could just really just really force Auburn to play one quarterback and force him to beat them with their arm. I believe Alabama has the secondary to to kind of take away the athletic ability of a Cam Coleman or of a Eric Singleton and some of the other skill backs that they have. So defensively, that's players. I mean, from the Auburn side, that's players I have to watch. I got a whole list of Alabama players too, but I'm gonna let you guys go first. I don't want to talk too much, and I'll let you guys get your parts in.
Kyle, who are the guys that we need to look out for? The other ones we got to look out for from Auburn.
I'll give you one on each team, so three of them: offense,
Okay.
defense, and special teams. Y'all brought up all the big ones, the obvious ones, and that doesn't make them any less corrective answers. But for me, especially in wide receiver rooms, I'm always intrigued not by the first guy, not by the second guy, because number one receiver always gets the most attention, and then if you can find a way to shut down number two, you feel a little bit comfortable. But if you've got a group of 3 to 4 wide receivers that are all outstanding, you guys know that better than anybody with some of the wide receiver rooms that y'all have had in the past. The one you want to watch out for, in my mind, Malcolm Simmons. He was the leading receiver last game. Again, it's Mercer, but he's like a Swiss Army knife guy. He can catch the ball over the middle. He can throw it out to him in the flats and let him just go to town. He can be using the jet sweep. he's just an athletic guy. Get the ball in his hands, and he'll ghost you. Basically, he'll be gone like before if he gets a little bit of room. So yeah, Cam Coleman, absolutely. Eric Singleton on the other side, absolutely. Malcolm Simmons, and I'll even throw Perry Thompson in there too, who's been coming along nicely this year. So, but Malcolm Simmons would be that offensive main guy I'd pay attention to. Offensively, I'm gonna take the easy answer here for Auburn fans that they know exactly who I'm gonna say. X-Man. Xavier Atkins has just been on a tear. Very few times as a content creator, when you make predictions, do you get to nail it on the head? And I'm so proud to say that I nailed this on the head to start the season. I said, there's something about a guy, even only playing 1 year in minimal time at LSU, this guy knows how to play, practice, whatever, against SEC level talent, and that's going to translate on the field in some way, form, or fashion. I didn't think it was going to be to the level it was, but Xavier Atkins, outside of like 2, maybe 3 games, has been the leading tackler. He's made some incredible athletic plays to get interceptions, things like that. He just flies all over the ball. Xavier Atkins is definitely the defensive guy. Pay attention to special teams. Alex McPherson, the kicker for Auburn, who's just had, I won't go into the full details of the story because it's so long and detailed, but he has had quite the career at the start, the middle of it with his health concerns, and then had a rough game this season where we thought it was probably over for him. And then he just bounced back to set a record. And it's been a great season, a great ending so far to his season. So that's your 3 that I'll give you on each side of the ball, or all of the sides of the ball.
Well, and obviously, besides our receivers like Lottie Brooks and Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton, because Horton hears the Tide, of course. And our guy, obviously, to look out for is Josh Cuevas, if he's able to come in on Saturday. And obviously, you want to look out for Ty Simpson, but LT Overton, now that's a guy to look out for. Yahtzee Pierre is another guy to look out for on defense. Man, Justin Jefferson, look out for him. He'll bring you some magic. Dijon, that's another one to look out for. I'm hoping he's in again like he was last week, because that was fun watching him. Man, and I know Talty's got to look out for, but
yeah, for possibly negative reasons or positive reasons. Hopefully positive, but not confident in that at all.
Listen, I have been very well behaved this stream about the Alabama kicker jokes. Y'all are not making it easy for me, okay? So don't set me up further for even your chat. Don't let. I got some ammo. Just sitting here waiting. But don't make me use it.
Yeah, we'll keep we'll stay clear of that. I definitely don't disagree with any of the picks for Auburn at all. I mean, like you said, Kyle. I mean, for sure, like biggest defensive guy, Xavier Atkins. I mean, looking at his stats, I mean, 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, pick, 81 tackles. Like all that's like by far best numbers on the defense for Auburn. So like him, I definitely agree with. I agree with the receivers. I mean, it's the same. Like Auburn's got a few really, really good players. I mean, they got a solid team for a 5-16 because they got talent, but those guys kind of stand out. I mean, obviously for Alabama, Ty Simpson. I mean, he's got to play well. I've stressed it, the whole show. I'm going to keep stressing it. If he plays bad, if he's got a couple picks and those fumbles, he fumbles a lot. He's kind of getting notorious here. He fumbles a lot, which you can say O-line. All that kind of stuff, but he cannot turn the ball over. I'd say the offensive line for Alabama, you can't really single out an offensive line player. It's hard to do that. You can single out a defensive player, you can single out a receiver, but the O-line, the entire offensive line for Alabama has to be good. We got to push back Auburn's defensive line. We cannot let Ty Simpson get rushed, sacked, because if that happens, it could get ugly. That's when things have gone wrong for Alabama the last, couple of years. It was less with Milroe because he ran so much, but still, I mean, the offensive line has not been as good. If the offensive line is better, then the run game will be better. I think the offensive line has been better this year. Like it has been better, but at times it can still relapse a little bit. So our O-line, Ty Simpson, and like defense, I think definitely you're talking about Dijon Lee. He's incredible. Like you cannot talk about Alabama's defense without bringing up Deshaun Lee. He's been incredible. Maybe he can get a pick or two in the game because he's been picking off a lot of quarterbacks this year. A guy like Bray Hubbard to step up. He plays with a lot of intensity, a lot of fire. A guy like that, maybe you just feel like this is a game against Auburn that he would, do very well in, because you get him fired up. He plays great. The thing is, players to watch. I mean, both teams are going to be playing hard. It's just like you can't have a weak link. You can't have a weak group. I mean, Alabama's better than Auburn at like most positions, but that doesn't matter in this game because Auburn is going to play extremely hard, and it's going to be a dogfight. I don't know if we're about to get to our predictions, but my prediction is going to be very, very razor thin.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Travion.
for me, my bad, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. My mic had timed out. But to kind of wrap up my players to watch, just from the Alabama standpoint, I'm gonna go in that Alabama receiver room, and I'm gonna strictly just come out and say it. I believe Ryan Williams has to have a good performance this week. I mean, this season, he's been kind of hit or miss in games. I mean, Jeremy Bernard has been kind of the alpha dog in that wide receiver room, but I believe now is the time that with like a lot of Alabama fans like to do, they like to compare Cam Coleman to Ryan Williams, but I just think from a swagger standpoint, just from a confidence standpoint, and just moving forward in the season for Alabama, particularly on the offensive end, I think Ryan Williams needs to have a good game. So that's a player that I'm highlighting up front. That Alabama fans and Auburn fans should watch for sure. Another player that I'm gonna kind of highlight on the offensive end for Alabama. I also believe that Jam Miller, he needs to hit his holes hard. He needs to run hard. He's been kind of he's a player that hasn't been the same guy since he got a concussion, and I believe it was about 4 games ago. First of all, he started out the year with a shoulder injury, and he's been kind of working his way back. And when he did get back that Georgia game, Alabama was able to see improvement in their run game. But I believe he got a concussion versus Missouri, and ever since that game in Columbia, he just hasn't been the same. So for me, it's Ryan Williams, it's Jam Miller, and it's also a third guy I'm also gonna challenge on the offensive end. Not challenge, but just something to look out for as a player to look out for. I also believe that yeah, and just to piggyback off of what Jeffrey said, Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson has to come out and play clean football. He's gone 7 games with the turnover. Some turnovers were his fault, some of them weren't, but it's become a habit now. It's 7 games, and that's kind of painting the picture of who he's kind of becoming. And I don't believe he's that type of quarterback. He's a quarterback that takes care of the football. He's a quarterback that distributes the ball to his weapons. So I believe if Ty Simpson comes out and plays clean football, that Alabama should be okay. But those 3 players on offense for sure, Ryan Williams, Jam Miller, and Ty Simpson, they have to perform good Saturday, or not saying that Alabama will lose, but it's gonna make the job harder if those 3 players don't show up on offense on Saturday. So those are my 3 players from Alabama standpoint.
There we go. So we'll be ready to rock and roll for the players to watch all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football.